All right, so today we're diving into something I think we all kind of dream about, tripling our income
Yeah.
in just a few years.
Who wouldn't want that?
Right. So we're looking at this motivational podcast episode
Okay.
about someone who did just that. They went from making $35,000 a year to six figures
Wow.
in just 3 years.
That's impressive.
It's pretty wild. So we're going to break down like the 6 key traits that they say
Okay.
really help make that happen for them.
Got it.
Focusing on things that like you can actually use in your own life.
Yeah. It's important to remember that this is just one person's experience.
For sure.
It's not like a guaranteed formula.
Right.
But, we can definitely look at these traits.
Yes.
See what we can learn. But,
Yeah.
Yeah. Got to keep that critical thinking going.
Absolutely. So the first one that really jumped out at me was this idea of close the learning gap.
Okay.
And they were saying, traditional education,
Right.
doesn't really teach us practical financial skills.
That's true.
Like, how many of us actually learned about budgeting or investing in school?
Yeah, not many.
No.
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, financial literacy is so important if you want to reach
Yeah.
financial independence. So it doesn't matter if you're dreaming of early retirement
Right.
or you want to launch a business or just feel more secure.
Yeah.
It all comes down to
Yeah.
understanding how money works.
Right. And this person even gives some really practical examples of what to focus on.
Okay.
Like really understanding your taxes,
Yeah.
demystifying mortgages, figuring out how to build multiple income streams.
Uh-huh.
It's like taking ownership of your financial education.
Yeah, and you know what I think is interesting here is that these skills aren't that complicated.
Yeah.
You can learn them,
Totally.
but we just don't learn them in school.
Yeah.
So it's really about empowering yourself to make informed choices about your money.
For sure.
Maybe as a starting point.
Yeah.
You could check out that free budgeting course everyone's talking about.
Oh, yeah. The one on Khan Academy.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. I've heard that's a great one for beginners.
It is.
All right. So trait number 2,
Okay.
overcoming the spotlight effect.
Ooh.
Do you ever get that feeling where it's everyone's watching you, judging your every move?
All the time.
Right. Yeah.
Especially in a meeting or something.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Everyone's staring at me.
And it's so,
Yeah.
you get so self-conscious.
Yeah, and it can hold you back.
Totally.
From taking risks and stuff.
Yes.
And stepping outside your comfort zone.
Exactly. And, this person's saying that fear, it's mostly in our heads.
Yeah.
They even told this story about how once they stopped worrying
Yeah.
so much about what other people thought,
Right.
that they actually started getting all these amazing opportunities.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
It makes sense though, right? Because it's about being vulnerable and accepting the possibility that, you might mess up sometimes.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Okay, so the third trait is question the answer.
Okay.
So this is about turning no's into detours.
Interesting.
Finding a way forward even when things don't go as planned.
I like that. Not just accepting limitations
Exactly.
other people put on you.
Right. And getting creative about finding alternative paths.
Yeah. Love it.
So to illustrate this, they told this story about how they asked for a raise
Uh-huh.
and they got denied.
Uh,
But instead of getting discouraged, they used that as motivation to buy an investment property,
oh, wow.
turning a setback into an opportunity.
That's awesome. And it makes you wonder, right?
Yeah.
Are there any areas in our lives where we've just accepted no?
Mm-hmm.
What if there's another solution? Another detour
Right.
we haven't even thought of yet?
That's a powerful question to ask yourself.
It is.
So get this. The fourth trait is money out equals money in. I know, right? It sounds kind of counterintuitive.
Yeah.
But they're saying that sometimes you have to spend money to make money.
Okay, before everyone empties their bank accounts.
Right.
This isn't about
Yeah.
spending recklessly.
No.
It's about investing strategically.
Right.
So the speaker even brought up Naval Ravikant.
I heard of him. Yeah.
He's a successful entrepreneur and investor.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got this whole philosophy
Yeah.
about you should set an hourly rate for your time
Okay.
and outsource anything you can do for less.
Right. So it's what if you invested in a course that taught you a valuable skill?
Yeah.
Or hired a virtual assistant to free up your time so you can focus on higher value work?
Basically.
So it's about looking at where you might be underinvesting in yourself
Yeah.
or in your goals, which could actually be holding you back.
Interesting. Right?
Yeah.
Because what if that leads to
Yeah,
greater earning potential down the road?
exactly.
Yeah.
Something to think about.
All right, number 5. Okay. FOMO will hold you back.
Ooh,
I feel like
FOMO.
this is a big one for so many people,
Huge.
especially, with social media constantly showing us what everyone else is up to.
It's hard not to compare.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
And it's like this fear of missing out.
Right. And that can distract you from your own path
Absolutely.
and make you feel like you're not doing enough.
Oh, so true. So
Yeah.
they emphasized finding meaning in like the work you do
Yeah?
as an antidote to FOMO.
I love that.
Because when you're actually passionate about what you're doing,
Yeah.
you're less likely to get caught up in like comparing yourself to everyone else.
Yeah, you're focused on what matters to you.
Right.
Like you have that internal motivation instead of constantly measuring yourself against everyone else.
Exactly. And finally, trait number 6 is all about action. Action beats overanalysis.
Oh, I like that one.
They're saying just start,
Yeah.
even if you don't have the perfect plan.
It's so easy to get stuck in the planning phase. It is. They even mentioned Jeff Olson's book, The Slight Edge.
Oh, yeah?
Have you read that one?
I have. It's all about how like small actions
Yeah.
done consistently
Yeah.
create huge results.
It's so true.
Yeah, and it really highlights the dangers of like overthinking
Uh-huh.
and procrastinating.
Right. And this person was saying, clarity comes from doing,
Right.
not just thinking about it.
So true.
Like every step you take, even a small one,
Yeah.
builds momentum.
And you figure things out along the way.
Exactly.
Instead of being paralyzed by fear.
Yes. So they really hammered home that point that like clarity comes from action,
Love it.
not just from sitting around and thinking about things.
So looking back at these 6 traits,
Yeah.
closing that learning gap, overcoming that spotlight effect, questioning the answer, realizing that money out can sometimes mean money in,
Mm-hmm.
combating FOMO, and prioritizing action over overthinking.
Yeah.
Which one like speaks to you the most?
That's a great question. They do feel like tools in a toolbox.
Yeah. Like you don't need to use all of them at once.
Right. But having them available is so powerful.
Totally. And, this person did all this by the age of 24.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty inspiring, right?
Yeah.
To think like,
Yeah.
what could we achieve,
Yeah.
no matter our age or situation, if we start using these principles?
It really shows that we have more control over our money
Yeah.
than we think. Like,
Yeah.
it's not just about luck
Right.
or being in the right place at the right time.
It's about mindset
Yeah.
and taking action.
Exactly. So if you had to pick just one small action inspired by these 6 traits,
Yeah.
something you could do today,
Mhm.
what would it be? That's something to think about.
It is.
We'll be right back.
Okay. For me, I think I'd focus on that spotlight effect.
Yeah,
It's just so easy to get caught up in whatever
Yeah.
people think.
it's true.
So I have this like creative project I've been putting off because I'm worried like it won't be good enough.
Right.
But like, you know what? Today's the day.
Yes.
I'm going to stop worrying
Yeah.
and just get started.
I think that's so powerful because like so often the biggest obstacle is ourselves.
Totally.
I have a similar story. Like I used to be terrified of public speaking.
Oh, really?
Oh my gosh, like full on panic attack mode.
Wow.
But, I realized that fear was keeping me from sharing my ideas
Right.
and connecting with people. And so like taking that first step
Yeah.
was scary, but it opened up so many doors.
It's amazing how often those small steps lead to big breakthroughs.
They do.
So what about you? What jumps out at you?
I think I'm going to go back and look at my budget
Okay.
and see if there are places where I can invest in myself more strategically.
Yeah.
Like maybe it's finally signing up for that online writing course I've been thinking about, or investing in some noise canceling headphones
Oh.
so I can focus, It's about shifting that mindset from scarcity to abundance.
It's so true. And it's not about like, going crazy with spending,
No.
but recognizing that investing in yourself is an asset,
Totally.
not an expense.
It's like planting seeds for future growth
Exactly.
and opportunity.
Speaking of resources,
Yeah.
did you notice that the speaker we're talking about mentioned
Yes.
a few specific ones?
Mm-hmm.
Like they talked about Naval Ravikant
Yeah.
and his work on building wealth and Jeff Olson's book, The Slight Edge.
Oh, I've been meaning to check out The Slight Edge.
It's really good. It's like it gets you thinking about
Yeah.
how those small daily choices compound over time to create those big results.
It's not about like the overnight change.
Exactly. It's the
The-
consistency
The consistency.
that matters.
Right. I'm adding that to my list.
Yeah.
They also talked about the importance of understanding like those fundamental financial topics,
Yeah.
like taxes and mortgages, you know, which can seem kind of daunting,
Yeah.
but they're so important for building that solid foundation.
Right. And there's so many resources out there now,
There are.
like online at libraries,
Yeah.
that can break it down,
Totally.
make it easy to understand.
Yeah.
So you can make those informed decisions.
Have you found any good resources that you like?
Oh, yeah. There's a personal finance subreddit
Oh, cool.
that I follow.
Okay.
People are always sharing tips and stuff there.
That's awesome. I love finding those communities where you can connect with other people
Me too.
who are like learning the same things.
Yeah, and they've been there.
Right.
They've made the mistakes.
They have the experience.
You can learn from them.
Right. They also talked about creating multiple income streams.
Yes.
I feel like that's something that resonates with a lot of people.
Definitely. Especially these days.
It's a smart move. Like, it diversifies your income,
Mm-hmm.
creates more security.
Right.
Could be anything.
Yeah. From like starting a side hustle to looking into real estate, whatever you're interested in.
It all ties back to that idea of questioning the answer.
It does.
You know, like if your current income stream isn't working for you,
Yeah.
don't be afraid to explore other options.
Create your own path.
Exactly.
Love it.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
What are some of the key takeaways you want listeners to walk away with?
I think the biggest one is that financial success isn't some like magic formula
Yeah.
or luck. You know, it's about mindset,
Yeah.
knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
and consistent action.
Right.
And, you know, these 6 traits we talked about
Yeah.
give you like a solid framework.
Yeah, they're like a roadmap
Exactly.
for your goals.
Yeah.
And it's important to remember that everyone's journey is different.
So true.
What worked for the speaker in this podcast
Right.
might not be the exact path for you.
Exactly. The key is to figure out what works for you.
Yeah.
Adapt these principles to your own situation.
And get started.
Yes.
So before we wrap up,
Okay.
I have one final thought-provoking question.
Okay. Hit me.
So this speaker achieved this transformation by the age of 24.
Mm-hmm.
What could be possible for you in the next few years?
Ooh.
If you start applying these principles today, makes you realize that time is really valuable.
Yeah. You can always make more money,
Right.
but you can't get back time.
It's so true. So the sooner we start working towards our goals,
Right.
the better, right?
And it's not even just about reaching a certain income.
Right.
It's about the freedom
Yeah.
that comes with it.
Like having the resources to do the things you love.
Exactly. Travel.
Yeah, travel, take that dream trip, or
Yeah.
just having the peace of mind,
Yeah.
knowing that you're prepared for whatever happens.
Right. Or like being able to help your family.
Yes.
Get back to your community.
So important. So as you're going about your day-to-day, I want you to think about
Okay.
those 6 traits we talked about.
Yeah.
Which one really stood out to you? What's one small action you could take today to start moving towards your goals?
What's that one step?
Right. Like maybe it's finally setting up that budget tracker or having that tough conversation you've been putting off, or even spending 15 minutes researching a new skill.
Every journey starts with a single step.
That's so true.
What will yours be?
That's all for today's deep dive. Thanks for joining us.
See you today.